Everyone, this is Becky's Place. Welcome to today's tutorial. If this is your first time of watching, kindly subscribe to this YouTube channel so as to get notified when we upload new videos. This picture beaded bag is what we'll be doing today, and these are my materials. This is the picture. I went to the studio to print it out, and they also did the lamination there also. So just go to the studio, tell them you want to print the size. This is the size I want. This is 8 by 10 size, and they also did the lamination so as to protect the picture. And these are my beads, the sugar beads, and this is my needle, the long needle, my point 60 fishing line, the iron handle, then the pair of scissors. Then you start by, so you use your needle to create holes to the picture like the way I'm doing. And when you're creating the hole, make sure you have a little bit of space in between the holes. So the hole is where our fishing line will be entering at the end of the day to bead around the picture. So I've created the hole on a straight line of the picture, and I'm also going to do it at the bottom line of the picture and also the other side of the picture. So I'm going to be leaving only the upper part alone. I won't be creating any hole at the upper part. So the hole will only be at the two sides of the picture and also the bottom side of the picture. So the upper part will be left. I won't be creating any hole there. And make sure the holes you'll be having at one side will be the same thing you'll be having at the other side of your picture, so that at the end of the day you won't be having maybe 15 here, 14 on the other side. Make sure what you have on the first side is the same thing as what you have on the other side. So I'm also counting my bottom, the holes at the bottom side, at the down part, so that at the end of the day when I also want to bid on the second picture, it will be equal. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say here. So I'm trying to count my holes so that at the end of the day I will have equal holes. So that's the essence of counting the hole. So this is it. I hope you are getting it. And this is my fishing line. You cut enough fishing line that you know that it can work for you. Then you place your fishing line at the upper part of the hole this way. You place it, then you pick one bead. You use the bead to cross. You interlock like this. You interlock with the first bead you pick like this on the picture. Then you have two fishing lines, one on the left, one on the right. You pick one bead on the left, one bead on the right, then you pick the third bead to interlock with. You interlock. So you interlock with the third bead like this. Then you try to turn your picture so as to locate your right hand fishing line. So the right hand fishing line, I'm going to be placing it inside the next hole. I'm inserting the right hand fishing line inside the next hole like this from the back. Then after that, you insert it back into the last bead, the bead you used in interlocking, and you have something like this. Then you go back again, one bead on the left, one bead on the right, then you interlock with the third bead like this. So your right hand fishing line again, you insert it into the next hole from the back like this. That same fishing line, you also insert it back into the last bead you use in interlocking like this. Then you have something like this again, one bead on your left, one bead on your right again. Then you also interlock with the third bead. The right fishing line also, okay, I'm trying to interlock here. The fishing line is giving me stress. So the right fishing line also, you insert it into the next hole from the back like this. Then after inserting, you go back into the last bead, the bead you used in interlocking. You insert that same fishing line into it. Then you continue, one bead on the right, one bead on the left, then you interlock with the fourth bead. That is how you're going to continue till we get to the last hole on this line. That is how you continue till we get to the last hole on this line. And this is it. This is the last hole on this line. Still the same method, but on your right hand you are going to insert two beads on your right hand, then you interlock with the third bead. So the fishing line will be facing one side, it will be facing up, it will be facing you like this. So this is how it will be. Then still on your right hand fishing line, you pass into the hole, the next hole from the back. Then you insert still that fishing line, that same fishing line. You insert it back into what you use in interlocking. Then you continue what you've been doing. One bead on your right, one bead on your left. Then you interlock with the third one. Still the same process. So that is how you would continue till you get to the second to the last hole at the down part. The second to the last hole at the down part. This is the second to the last hole. Still the same method. I'm trying to pass my fishing line into the interlocked bead. Then one on my right, one on my left, interlock with the third bead. Then this is the last hole at the down part. Still the same method. I'm passing my fishing line into the last hole at the down part, then going back into the bead I used in interlocking. Then this is the last hole on my left fishing line. So you'll be having something like this. Then on my left fishing line, I'll be adding two beads. Then I will interlock with the third one so that the fishing line will change direction. Just watch closely, you understand what I'm trying to say here. So now the fishing line is facing upward. So the fishing line on my right hand side, I'm passing it into the next hole, then passing it also into the bead I used in interlocking. Then I'll continue the method I've been using. One on my right, one on my left, interlock with the third bead. That is how you would continue till you get to the last hole, the upper part. So that is what you will continue to do. I have almost gotten to the last hole on the picture. This is the second to the last. Still the same process, and this is the last hole. I'm going to pass my fishing line into the last hole, then go back into the bead I used in interlocking. Then now I want my fishing line to turn sideways because I want to expand this roll. So I'm going to turn the picture just the way I did it now. So I'm going to be passing the fishing line at my right hand side. I'll be passing into the next three beads, one, two, and the beads facing the upper part. Yes, so I'll be passing my fishing line. Then I'll take the second fishing line, I'll pass it into the next one bead. So I will have something like this. The fishing line will be facing sideways like this. I want to expand the bead. So on my left fishing line, I'll be picking two beads, then interlock with the third bead to make the ring of four. I will have something like this. Then the fishing line at my right hand side, I'll pass it into the next one bead. Then on my left, I pick one bead and interlock with the second bead like this. Continue the process. The fishing line at my right hand side, I pass into the next one bead. Then my left hand side fishing line, I pick one bead, interlock with the second bead. That is how you continue the process till you get to the last place, the last point on the straight line fishing on the straight line. Yes, the last point on the straight line. Can you see what I'm doing? I pass my right hand side, then I put my bead on the left hand side and interlock with the second one. That is how you continue till you get to the last bead on the straight line. You continue the process. And now my fishing line is short, so I tie and leave my fishing line. I'm going to show you how to tie and cut your fishing line later. Let me just continue. I cut a new fishing line, add it to where I stopped, and then continue what I was doing before. So I'm going to show you how to cut your fishing line later. Continue the process, and this is the last step on this round. This is it. Now we want to move to another round on the down part. You just pass your fishing line into the next one bead like this. At the down part, another round of it, the second round, you pass into the next one bead like this. Then with your right fishing line, then on your left fishing line, you put one bead, interlock with the second bead to make the ring of four. So now after this I want to be sure that I have moved on to the next level. So I'll just fold my bead like this, so as to know that okay, I want to move to the next step. You're going to have something like this. Then you continue what you've been doing before. You pass with your right hand fishing line into the next one bead like this. Then on your left fishing line, you add one bead, interlock with the second bead. You continue like that till you get to the second to the last bead on this level. So this is the last bead on the second round. Still the same process you've been doing from the beginning. Interlock with the second bead. Then you pass again with your right hand fishing line. Insert your bead on the left hand fishing line, interlock with the second one. That's how you continue. It's so easy to make. Just watch closely, you understand it. So now I have gotten to the last bead on this round. So I'm going to pass with my right hand fishing line. Now this time around I want my fishing line to face the other side because I want to be expanding. So the fishing line I use in passing, that is where I will put my bead. I put one bead inside, then I interlock with the second bead with that same fishing line I used in passing. So the fishing line will be facing upward like this because I want to expand the round. So on my left fishing line, I'll be adding two beads. Then I interlock with the third bead for the first step. Then the next step, on my right fishing line, I'll be passing into the next one bead. Then on my left fishing line, I'll be adding one bead. Interlock with the second bead. That is how you continue the process. You pass with your right hand fishing line, then on your left fishing line you add one bead, interlock with the second. That is how to expand the rounds of your matting. So this is what you continue to do. So now this is the last step on this round. The fishing line I used in passing, I'm going to insert my bead there, put one bead, interlock with the second bead because I want the direction of my fishing line to change like this. So I will be stopping at this round. If you want the side of your bag to be wider than this, you can go ahead to increase the round So as for me, I'll be stopping at these two rounds at each side. So I'll also do the same thing to the second picture. Everything I did on this first picture, I'll be doing the same thing to the second picture. So I did two rounds for each. I hope you understand me. If you'll be expanding your rounds, make sure they are equal. 3 rounds on the first picture, 3 rounds on the second picture. As for me, I did two rounds for each. Now I want to join the two pictures together. Now you pick the fishing line facing the upper part. You insert one bead into it. Then you pick the second picture. You insert that same fishing line downwards into that last bead. Then you interlock with one bead like this. You use the second fishing line to interlock. You have something like this. Then the right fishing line, you pass into the right bead. The left fishing line, you pass into the left bead. One bead on each like this. Then you interlock with one bead. That is how to close the matting. That is how to join your two pictures together. Your left fishing line, use it to pass into the left bead. Your right fishing line, use it to pass into the right bead. One bead each. Then you pick one bead to interlock with. That is how you continue till you get the very last bead. That is how to join your matting together. So now you should have something like this. The white bead was not enough, so I had to use this gold bead to finish up. So you should have something like this after joining. Then how to cut your fishing line off your work, like the way I'm doing. Just pass into the next bead, you tie, you pass into the next bead again. You don't pass straight, you pass in a zigzag way, you pass round, like the way the ring of four is round. That is how you continue to pass. You don't pass straight. So you keep passing round, maybe like 3 to 4 times like this. You can see the way I am passing round. I am not passing straight. You pass the two fishing lines together, then you tie. You pass it into another hole, another bead. The two fishing lines together at a time, you tie. Then you pass again, then you cut. That is the best way to cut off your fishing line, so that at the end of the day you don't have a loose work. So I tie like 3 to 4 times before cutting off. You can see the way I'm passing. I'm not passing straight. You'll be passing round, just the way the ring of four is. That is how you'll be passing it round. So now I already took one fishing line. I'm passing it round. Then the next fishing line, I'm passing it round again. After I'm satisfied, then I cut like this. Like this. You keep passing and passing and passing till you are satisfied. Then you cut it off. Now I want to add my iron handle to the bag. I'm trying to check the middle point of this bag. So I used my tape rule to measure out the middle point of the bag so that at the end of the day I won't be having, the handle should be one-sided. So I want the handle should be at the middle. So I located the middle. This is the middle point. Then I picked my needle to create a hole. Sorry, to create holes, not just one. To create holes. I'm going to show you the holes. These are the holes I created. You're going to create holes at the upper part and you leave a little bit of space. Then you create another hole at the bottom part of the picture like this. Then you're going to create the hole, two holes like this. After locating the middle, then you create holes because that's where your bead will be entering so as to hold the handle at the end of the day. So I insert my fishing line into the hole. Then you're going to add one bead. Then you insert your fishing line back into the second hole from the front. So you should have something like this. Then the fishing line will come out from the inside of the bag. Then you pick your bead, one on the left, one on the right, interlock with the third bead. Another bead, one on the right, one on the left, interlock with the third bead. That will be the second level. Then the third level again, one on the right, one on the left, interlock with the third bead. This is the third level. Now for the fourth level will be where I'll be rounding off. So I'm already trying my iron handle. I'm already trying where it will stay on it because this is the fourth level will be the final level. At the fourth level, I'll be putting one bead on my left fishing line. So that same fishing line, that left fishing line, I'll pass it into my hole like this, the upper part hole. I started from the down part, the hole at the down part, then I'll be ending on the hole at the upper part. Then I put one bead, go back into that second hole I created. Then the fishing line will come inside the bag like this. Then on your right fishing line, you add one bead, then you tie. Don't forget that when you get to the last level, which is the fourth level, you pick your iron handle, then you place it in between the bead before you pass into the upper hole. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say here. Just watch this video closely, you will get every part. So you tie, you have something like this. At the end of the day, I pass, I tie, I pass, I tie, then I cut off my excess fishing line. It's as simple as that. So I'm trying to create the second hole here. You should have something like this at the end of the day. You do the same thing for the second part because we want our handle to be very firm at the end of the day. You insert back your fishing line like this. You start from the down part, then inside your bag, one bead on the left, one bead on the right. You interlock with the third bead. You continue the process till you get to the fourth level. So this is the third level. Then the fourth level, On one fishing line, I'll be adding one bead on my left. Then I use that same fishing line. You see, I have already put my iron handle in between the bead at the last level. So you pick your fishing line inside the hole. It will come out from the front like this. You pick one bead, put it inside the fishing line, then you go back into the second hole with that same fishing line like this. Then you go into the bag. Inside the bag, you add one bead to your right, the other side, the other fishing line, the right hand side fishing line. Then you tie, you pass, you tie, you pass, you tie, you pass, and you cut. It's as simple as that. You you do the same thing for the second handle. The essence of having our handle tied in two ways is to make it firm and long lasting. So you repeat the same process for the other handle at the other part, and at the end of the day you have a beautiful bag already. So don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel so as to get notified when we upload new videos. Subscription is free, just click on it. It is free of charge. And if you have any question concerning this tutorial, kindly ask me in the comment section, as I'll be glad to answer your questions. Thank you guys for watching today's tutorial. This is what we have at the end of the day. See you all in my next video. Bye.